Hey guys, Scott here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get your own website. This includes a domain name, so yoursite.com, and also the website hosting account that stores the files for your website. Now, instead of just throwing you straight at the sign up page for your website, I want to go through a few steps to make sure that you're ready to actually get your website. You don't want to rush into this because you need to know exactly what niche you're doing your website on, and also you need to know exactly what domain name you want. You don't want to just get to the sign up page and throw in a random domain name. And it is actually quite important to put some thought into a domain name. So here's the tutorial page that goes with this video on how to get your own website. Now you can get to this page from anywhere on my site by clicking on this first helpful link here, which is get a website. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, there'll be a link to this page in the description. There'll also be a second link in the description, which I'll talk about later in this video. So first off, you need to know, are you ready to buy? There's only really two things you need to be certain about before you actually buy your website and domain name. And that is what you want your domain name to be. And to be able to choose your domain name, you need to know what niche you want to do. Now, a niche is just the topic of your website. So it could be like golf or computer games or soccer or for your church or whatever, but you need to know what you want to do your website on. Now, if you already know what domain name you want and what niche you're doing, or what niche you're doing and what domain name you want, you're ready to purchase your domain name and website hosting. But you should also know that the majority of domain names are actually already taken. So if you wanted to make a website say on golf and you're going to use golf equipment as your domain name or golfequipment.com, that's pretty much most likely taken. So you need to have an idea of what you can play around with your words for your domain name. Now, if you don't have a niche for your website yet and you don't know what domain name you want, if you scroll down to domain name here, you'll notice there's two links at the bottom here, which the first one here assists you in finding out what niche you want to do for your website. And then once you figured out what niche you want, this link here will show you how to choose a good domain name for your website. Now, if you already know what topic you want to do your website on, you don't need to do this one. Say you already know you want to do your website on raising kids or how to knit or whatever you want to do your website on, you can go straight to this link here to get help with just choosing a good domain name. So if you know what domain name you want and you know what niche you're doing, you're ready to make your website. Just a quick word on website hosting. For newcomers to creating a website, it can actually be quite confusing with all the different hosting companies out there of what you need and what you should get. And there's a lot of different terminology when they describe what comes with the hosting account. Basically, I recommend going with Hostgator. Hostgator has everything you need. I've found them to be the best by far, and I've used quite a handful of different hosting companies. I found them for their price. They have everything. Their plans are unlimited. You'll never have an issue if you go with the Hostgator plan. Now you'll notice there's a step-by-step guide at the bottom of this page, which goes through step-by-step in a written guide with pictures to show you how to sign up. So if you know what you're doing your website on and you've got an idea of what domain name you're going with, you're ready to sign up for your website. Now there's links here in the step-by-step guide. You can click the picture or the link there, but I will also, the video is going to be here, this video I'm making at the moment, and I'll also put a link directly under the video to the Hostgator website. Now I'll say now that the link I've got on this page is an affiliate link. So if you sign up with them, I will get a commission for that sign up. But since my entire site is free, all my video tutorials are free, all the guides I do are free, everything I do is for free for anyone to use. The only way I make money is through affiliate links, like the link that'll be under this video, and ads and that on the page. So please, if you are going to sign up, use the link below this video to help support my website so I can keep making free video tutorials and other written tutorials and stuff. So you can just click that link that'll be under here. It'll look pretty much the same as this link here. I'll have the picture there that's clickable and a text link under it. So just click either of those and it'll take you to the Hostgator website. I'm just going to click this one. And this will take you to the sign up page or the start of the sign up page. Now, if you don't believe me about Hostgator being a really good host, you can do your own research through Google if you want. Just search for like good website hosting companies or what's the best website host and things like that. And you'll probably find HostGator will be the highest rated by most people. There are a few other ones that are really good as well, but personally, I love HostGator and that's who I'd recommend the most. Every single website I own now is now hosted with HostGator. Okay, so from their main page, what you want to click on here is web hosting, because that's what you want for your website. So select web hosting here. Now you'll see there's 3 different plans. And if you scroll down, it talks about other stuff that's in the plan, but you can read through this if you want, but most of it probably won't make sense. And all you really need to know is it comes with unlimited space, storage space, and bandwidth. So you don't have to worry about that. You'll never go over. You have unlimited subdomains, FTP accounts, and email accounts. So it's unlimited, so you don't need to worry about it. And basically, it'll have everything you need to host any type of website. And their customer support is incredible. You can get direct help with the live chat here if you need to. And they've also got some emails you can use, but if you do ever have a problem, I find it best to just use live chat, as you get to talk to an actual person that's working for the company. Okay, so the 3 plans here, you want to choose one for your website. There's a hatching plan, a baby plan, and a business plan. Basically, the only difference between a hatching plan and a baby plan is here. The domain names allowed. Hatching plans can have a single domain name registered to the hosting account, and baby plans can have unlimited. What that means is, say you have yoursite.com, and that's all you're going to have. You're never going to make another website. You're just using a single website. Go with the hatching plan because you'll have the single domain name, and it's cheaper, of course. But if you're going to have like 5 different websites, like yoursite.com, yoursite1.com, or say you got a golf site, you got a soccer site, you got a few different sites, it's best to go with the baby plan, because that means you can have an unlimited amount of domain names hosted with one hosting account. So you can have 5 websites running off this one account, meaning you only have to pay for one hosting account and then buy the domain name separately and just link them to this account. Whereas with the hashlink plan, if you bought 2 domain names, you would have to buy a separate hosting account for the second domain name. And the business plan is basically the same as the baby plan, except you get a few extras, which is like a free private SSL and IP, a free toll-free number. For 90% of you, I wouldn't worry about the business plan. It's just the baby plan or the hatchling. This is more for people that want to start e-commerce websites or business websites and stuff where they want a private SSL and things like that. So for a general website, blog, forum, whatever you're making, just go with either the hatchling or baby. If you're only making one website, go with the hatchling because you save a lot of money. But if you're planning on starting new sites in the future, I'd go with the baby because that way you've got the option to add more domains later. For this video tutorial, I'm just going to click the hatchling plan since most of you will only be making one website. So all you do here is click the order now on the one you want. So I'm going to click here. Okay, now here's where you get to choose your domain name. You'll notice there's 2 different ways to choose a domain name. This is if you're registering a new domain name, and this is if you've got an existing one, which you're just getting the website hosting only through Hostgator. Now, if you're going to make a lot of websites and you're going to have a lot of domain names, I actually recommend using a separate company to manage all your domain names and just using Hostgator for the hosting. Namecheap is a company that's best used for just purchasing domain names if you want to host multiple domain names. So you can use one account with them to host as many domain names as you want to buy through them. And through the account you have with them, you can say you want this domain name to point to this hosting account, which will be Hostgator or whatever hosting you have. And it just makes things more simple to host multiple domains using that. You can also host purchase domains with GoDaddy, which I'll have a tutorial later on how to use them, but I personally prefer Namecheap. But if you're just making a single website and you don't want to have the hassle of managing your domain name separately to your hosting account, it's best to just actually register here. Putting in a domain name here and registering it with Hostgator, they'll actually create the domain name for you and link it to your account straight off, so your website will just work. You won't have to do any linking of the domain name to your hosting account. For the majority of you, I would say just go with this, like enter your domain name here. If you are going with multiple domain names though, you can still enter it on here and register your first one with the Hostgator. And then when you buy additional ones, you can buy them with the separate domain name registry, like Namecheap or GoDaddy, and then you can link them to this hosting account. So let's just say you wanted to register your site. Well, you don't need to put in the .com. So your site. So say your site's on golf, you'd put in whatever the name of your domain will be. Now, to show you that most websites are taken already, I'll just leave this at your site because I'm pretty much 100% positive that will be taken. And here's where you get to choose the .com. Don't worry about putting in the www. Or the .com here. This is just the name of your site, and then you choose the .com, .net, or .org here. So once you've typed that in, click continue to step 2. And this will tell me that this domain name is already taken. It says here, yoursite.com is not available to be registered. Now I expected that. So now you get, if this happens to the domain name you wanted, you're going to have to play around with the words a little bit. So let's say you wanted your site to be called Gardening Tools. And you're going to go gardeningtools.com. Now that's taken, so I'll just double check that that's taken. And it says here that's not available, so that's taken. So now you can try around, say you're Tom, and you could try something like Tom's Gardening Tools. If I can spell properly. Okay, so that's Tom's Gardening Tools. Okay, that's not taken. So once you just play around with the words and figure out what domain name that's available that you want, let's just say you tried that domain name and it wasn't taken, but you wanted to go back now because you actually decided you don't want the domain name, just click back and it'll take you straight back to this page. So let's say I didn't want that and I wanted something else. I could change it now, and you can just play around with the words, figure out what you want. You can also, say you didn't want it all bunched up like that, you can actually put in hyphens here, which will separate it a bit. But for most websites, I don't like to use hyphens, although mine actually does have hyphens in it. Having hyphens just makes it a little bit harder when someone tells someone else about your website. They say, "Oh, go to tomsgardening.com," and if they don't actually tell them there's hyphens, they're going to go to tomsgardening.com without the hyphens, because generally most websites don't. What I do with mine is I actually also purchased the website teacher.com without the hyphens and have it redirect to this site, which you can do if you want later. I'll have redirecting videos and how to do that later. So say that's the site you wanted. So now if I go continue to the next step, or to step 2, and that one's available still. So now just confirm here that you've selected the plan you want. It should be on Hatchling if you selected Hatchling at the start. You can change your billing cycle. If you change it, the higher you change it, the more you save. You'll notice if you go 1 month payments, you're paying $7.16 per month. If you pay 12-month bulk, you're paying $5.56 a month. And if you pay up to 36 months in advance, you're only paying $3.96 per month. So if you were positive you're going to have your website for 36 months, you can save a lot of money by paying in advance. Generally, I like to go with 1 month payments because that gives you leeway in being able to leave if you don't know if you're going to keep your site or not. But if you know you are, go with the large ones because you'll save a lot of money. Now, username and PIN. You want to enter username and a security PIN here. So Tom's Garden can be my username since I'm doing a Tom's Gardening hardware or tools. And a PIN, put in just 4 to 8 characters long and only numbers. So just whatever numbers you want. Put in something secure. Don't just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once you've done that, you've got your username and PIN. Now write these down on a piece of paper somewhere or somewhere that you've got them, because you're going to need to know those. So you don't want to lose those. They will be emailed to you as well. So you will get it in an email, but just write it down to be safe. Now, payment method, you can pay by credit card or PayPal. So if you choose PayPal, put in your billing information, and then once you finish this page and click create account, it'll take you to PayPal to pay for that. If you use credit card, just put your details in here and your billing information there, and then it'll be charged when you click create account. So I'm going to leave it at credit card for now and pretend I entered my details. So now this is just reviewing your order, and you'll see here 1 month cycle is $8.95, but you got the discount of 20% off, so it's $1.79 off, so it comes down to the $7, whatever it was. You got the registration of the domain name. So Hostgator is going to be registering this domain name for you and will link it to your account. So once you've created this and you go to your site, so if once I've bought this and purchased it and I go to tomsgardeningtools.com, this will actually automatically just be linked to my hosting account and load the page that's there. Now to begin with, it's only just going to be a Hostgator page telling you that there's been no website made yet, but then you're ready to create your website. And make sure you've ticked I've read and agreed to the terms and conditions, or actually click and read the terms and conditions if you want to, and then click create account. Now mine's going to come with an error because I haven't put the payment details in. Yeah, see, mine's come up there, and it'll tell you here what you haven't done to be able to create it. So once you're ready, just click create account. And once you've finished that, creating your account, you'll receive an email pretty quickly letting you know that you've just bought a new account, of course, and then also what your login details are, what your domain name is, the IP address for your hosting account, and also the DNS servers, which are the two DNS ones. Now, if you are having HostGator set up your website for you, you don't need to worry about what your DNS is. They'll do all that stuff. But if you're purchasing your domain name through Namecheap or GoDaddy or from somewhere else, you'll need to know what the DNS is, and that's done. Since HostGator uses cPanel, if you go to creating here and cPanel, and then you've got your guide to cPanel, there's a full tutorial here, or a bunch of tutorials on how to actually use cPanel. And if you look here, it'll go through taking you how to log into cPanel, how to set up your own email accounts for your website, how to create FTP accounts. Now, you don't really need to worry about that until you actually see one of my tutorials that tells you to create an FTP account, or if you know that you need an FTP account for something else. At the moment, though, you don't need to worry about it. Same with the MySQL databases, but I'll show you how to upload to your website. Just basically all the cPanel tutorials are here. Changing your password. I recommend just starting on how to log into cPanel and then set up your own email accounts. So you can set up your name at yoursite.com. And that's pretty much it. That's how you get your website. Once you've started, you can choose a method of creating your website. Every method I show on my website and my tutorials on how to create a website, I'll be using HostGator as my host, so they'll work perfectly if you've just signed up with HostGator. And every single method will work with HostGator. So that's it for this video tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and rate this video. Thank you.